Hello everybody and welcome to my review of the Discraft Reaper. Now if you haven't already, please subscribe and also hit that like button. Now if you haven't heard of the Reaper, don't worry, you are not alone. It has been out of production for several years. And the flight numbers that you're seeing there are what I would give it based on my own personal experience with this disc. Now, as I mentioned, it is out of production, though I was really happy to hear when Infinite did a run earlier in the year. But don't worry, you'll get another crack at these later on, as Ledgestone will be doing another run later this year. Now, I can't speak for the older run of the Reaper, but this new run, it has a nice kind of slightly domed shoulder to it. The flight plate, though, is very nice and flat, and also it has more of a blunt end nose to it, not very sharp for a fairway driver, makes it really comfortable both backhand and also forehand. Now, when I first heard about the Reaper and heard that it was actually put out of production because of how overstable it was, I was really excited to give this disc a try and see if it lives up to that. Now, again, I don't know with the older runs if that was the case, but this run here is absolutely perfect and I think is a disc that Discraft needs to think about putting back into its lineup. It really fits that kind of speed 7-8 that's really missing that overstable fairway driver, something where like the Raptor is just a little bit too fast. Hyzer, it holds the hyzer. Flat, it'll ride nice and straight about 2/3 of the flight and then have a really nice predictable overstable finish, both backhand and also forehand. And even on an anhyzer, you can see you can get it to work a little bit in the mid-flight, but it's always going to fight its way back, even into a decent wind. Because the Reaper has that predictable overstable finish, it is great for kind of forcing over these flex shots where you can just put a little bit of anhyzer on it, but know that it's not going to flip over and it's going to fight its way out. And even when thrown flat, it does work a little bit in the mid-range. You can get it to kind of get a little bit of turn when thrown flat. And again, it's just going to fight its way out. But then in the wind, it's not going to turn and burn. You don't have to worry about that. It is going to stay maybe a little straight, but then it'll still fight with that predictable finish. An absolute great disc for us slower medium arms. This is a great fairway driver that we can really trust. I just wish I had the opportunity to try it out in all those different plastic types. Maybe one day I will. If I had to compare the Reaper to a disc, I'd say it is a slower, slightly more overstable Onyx. As we're going to see, Reaper holds straight 2/3 of the flight and then has that harsh, predictable finish, versus the Onyx holds straighter longer, but then still has, again, that nice overstable finish. Again, at least for us, kind of slower medium arms. And for those wondering against the Raptor, well, the Raptor has a much sharper edge than the Reaper, which is why I prefer the Reaper, but the Raptor is definitely more overstable, as you can see from this. Now, when thrown on a forehand, we're going to see, again, nice little workable in the mid-flight from the Reaper, but then again, it's not going to turn over. It has that overstable finish. And then the Onyx is almost going to mirror that perfectly, a little bit lower, but you can see it has just a little bit more drift in that mid-flight and still has a nice, decent overstable finish, and of course, obviously a little bit further, versus the Raptor doesn't even want to turn. It just kind of holds straight and then gets to about 2/3 of the flight and crashes, just dumps. The Reaper is a disc I really wish that Discraft would consider putting back into production, just because of how useful I think it would kind of fit in that speed 7, speed 8 overstable fairway driver slot. Going to be great for players of all skill levels. And don't fret, again, if you did miss the Infinite Discs run, Ledgestone's got you covered. Until next time, everyone, keep banging them chains.